These things are tanks. What? We are literally unstoppable as the Khmer with this Domrey. Look at that. This thing is insane. Hello everybody and welcome back to Civilization 6. Today I've got something fun for you. So in the latest update, these guys, the Khmer Empire, got this, the Domrey. It's their unique unit and it replaces the Trebuchet. So it changed a bit, right? Because in the last update, the developers, after 5 years, added the Trebuchet. Some say it took them too long. I say Trebu yay. Anyway, the Khmer Empire have the Domrey. It is a unique Trebuchet. So it replaces the Trebuchet for them. And this thing is insane. So it does incredible bombard damage, as you would expect from a Trebuchet. If you want to see some specific stats, let's take a look. So you can see it has a higher combat strength than the Trebuchet, a higher bombard strength than the Trebuchet. It does deal bombard-like damage, which makes it in particularly strong against district defenses. The downside is, of course, it takes a slight penalty against land units, but we're not too worried about that. So I've loaded up this game here. You can see I'm playing, obviously, as the Khmer Empire. I'm going to dance around the scout a little bit. My goal here is to set up a civilization like no other. So I'm going to send my settler out, send my scout around. I'm going to keep settling on the rivers, because the Khmer does well with rivers, but what it does better with is tanks. So my goal is to get to the Domrey as quickly as I can. So if I take a look at the tech tree here, you can see I've completed some early ones. I'm going to probably work along the bottom a little bit now, but also fortify my cities where I can. I'm tempted to build an ancient wall, maybe an encampment in this one as well. But I do need, of course, science, because I need to get to the Domrey as quickly as I possibly can do. And in order to do that, I am going to need to focus on science a little bit first. I'm also really conscious of where the other players are in this game. My goal is to rush them down with my medieval tanks. And China has left a settler here. Classic. Yoink. Take that, thank you very much. We'll probably lose the city to loyalty, but hey, it's worth that. So it's negative 24 loyalty pressure, so we're probably going to lose this immediately, like before we even unlock tanks. But I think China... Yeah, look, I'll settle here regardless. Great, we've got this city. It's going to immediately rebel. But I'm going to settle regardless because China is going to be our enemy in this playthrough, right? We're going to test out the Domrey, the medieval tanks, as I'm going to call them, on China anyway. So I'm not worried. I'll throw a governor in. I think we're going to lose this city anyway, but better to place this and lose it than to have China place it at all, is what I'm thinking. So, like, sure, I built walls. I got my scout here that I really don't want to lose, but it's all good. Should we put down another city? Why not? Let's do it. My goal is to build up maybe like 3 or 4 reasonable cities before I strike with the tanks, just so that we can have some production online, we can build some tanks, get our ancient walls, so on and so forth. So, you can see here, the Chinese weren't particularly happy, and as predicted, we lost that city immediately. Do we care? No. Why? Because the Domrey is essentially a tank. Some of the other things that I didn't cover at the start, but you might have seen them in the text, it can move on the same turn that it attacks, right? So you move in and fire. You don't have to set it up like a catapult or a trebuchet. In that way, it behaves a lot more like a tank. It also exerts zone of control, so it slows down enemies. Another win-win for us, I think. Okay, so back to the tech tree. You can see I've got my boost for machinery, which could be a nice to have with the crossbows, but really here, this is what I want. I want military engineering so I can pump out my Domreys. So I'm going to work on building an aqueduct. I need construction, so I'm going to need a watermill, and of course I'm going to need fundamentally these early techs, ironworking, and horseback riding as well, right? We should probably get those before we jump on the back of some elephants. So, I've got my little city here, and I built a few archers. I figure it might not hurt to have a standing army ready to move up through here in the valley. I've got my scout, my poor weeks... Oh, yikes. Oh, I hope we don't lose him. Nope, the barbarians went the other way. Nice. I got my wee scout here. I'm trying to figure out exactly where these Chinese cities are so that I can send my war elephant Domrey tanks in to destroy them. But for the meantime, I'll send up this wee standing army. I've got a spearman who will probably take a city, hopefully. Oh, and looky here. We can reduce our grievances thanks to the World Congress. I guess I'll don't mind if I do that one, and maybe chuck it in, see if we can get some great scientists as well. But what I really want is that reduced grievances, because that will be nice to have when I roll my... Oh, brilliant. Got it. When I roll my tanks into China. And here we have it, ladies and gents. The first elephant tanks, the first Domreys are making their way towards this little Chinese city. And I'm excited about this one in particular because it doesn't have walls. So we're going to see the real strength. Oh, and we've been flooded again. Yikes. Floods everywhere. But we don't care. Well, I do care, actually. This is really annoying. It's going to mess with my production quite a bit in this Khmer playthrough. But anyway, look, here we have it. I've got my tanks, so I'm going to send the standing army in through this frustratingly narrow geographical passage. It's going to make the invasion slightly harder. I'm going to make our mobility more difficult, but look at them. They're literally elephants with crossbows. Oh, okay, cool. And another flood, just to rain on my parade today, ladies and gents. Oh, and China's worried. And rightly so, right? They have the right to be worried, because I'm moving in the Domreys now. 1, 2, I've got, you can see another 3, 4 coming through from my other cities. Here, look, here's another one fresh out of the oven. Another medieval tank. So, yep, let's close in. As I say, the geography does make it a little bit difficult, but not the end of the world. I'm absolutely focusing on my war stick this playthrough. Look at them. Aren't they beautiful? I mean, look at them, really. Oh, they are outstanding. Like, could you find a more badass unit? I don't think you could. Look how scared these archers are in comparison to these giant elephants. Oh, China, you should be worried. You should be very, very, very worried. What do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 in total, I think. And look, he's moving this little settler. Friend, it's too late. All right, let's do it. Enough mucking around. So I've just hit that and it didn't do a lot of damage, right? But that's because these units are, you have to remember, they replaced the Trebuchet. So actually that land damage that it did just then was actually quite good. Because these, my war elephants, my Domreys, are really designed to destroy district defenses rather than engage in melee combat. That being said, it did a fair job. Oh my goodness, look at that strike. This little undefended city, which actually did have some district defenses, to be fair. This city isn't going to stand a chance next turn when I roll through them. Not a chance. Oh, okay. World Congress. Brilliant. Done. We've got a religious combat bonus too, just to throw salt in the wound. Right, let's reposition a little bit here and strike on this little city again. Frustratingly, we can't quite see, but I am going to swap this tank. I'm just going to call them tanks. I'm going to swap this tank out, and yeah, we will fire upon that. See what kind of damage we can do. Again, not its strong suit, but okay. Now we strike. Boom! Oh, these district defenses did not even stand a chance. We almost took out this defended city in one turn. Just can't quite manage it with that spearman. But that's... Oh. To be fair, that eruption is the least of our concerns. I mean, this city's going to take no time. Should we just crush it now? I think we'll just maybe grab this promotion. And then we'll destroy it. And as you can see, just like that, it's fallen. And my eyes turn to a slightly stronger city. I'm also going to maybe use my tanks a bit here just to harass him a little bit. Right, that seems like a good idea. We'll just harass this, again, not the tank's strong suit, so don't judge it entirely based off this conflict here. Also, would love not to lose this one, but it looks like we can nearly take out this unit. I'll just reposition them, keep my tanks clustered close. See, again, like, that's pretty good damage, considering you have to remember we're fighting with a trebuchet here, right? Like, that's what we're doing. We're fighting a mobile horse unit with a trebuchet. And here we have it. This is the time. Look at how much damage we just did. 2 strikes, and the whole district defenses have been destroyed, and a third of the city's health is gone too. These things are not to be messed with, ladies and gents. Everybody says the Khmer is powerful because it can build up tall and high and get incredible holy sites with amazing adjacency bonuses to food production, and that is all true. That is all true. The newly buffed Khmer is great, but look at this. I mean, are we an aggressive civ? No, we're not. The Khmer is not an aggressive civ. Like I say, it's definitely catered towards building a few cities, building them up high, getting huge populations, and winning probably with a faith victory. But here we go. Oh, and your military emergency has failed because I'm too strong. Gosh darn it. I'm too strong. Shall we do it? Yeah, let's do it. Look at that. Another bombard strikes out nearly 40 health compared to the archer's mere 7. That one did 42. And just like that, another Chinese city falls. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will do for today's Civ 6 experiment and playthrough of the Domrey, the unique siege unit available to the Khmer civilization, which replaces the newly added Trebuchet. I have to say, it is a heck of a lot of fun. It can move and attack on the same turn, it exerts zone of control, it's incredibly strong, and it receives bonuses, as you just saw, to destroying district defenses. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like rating. If you'd like to see more, join us. Why not? Subscribe. We're a growing community. Please come in, pull up a chair. And until next time, I'll catch you then.